Welcome everyone to a new market update, and today we're going to discuss the crucial levels that you should be watching for Bitcoin, because we are compressing and we are going sideways in a very low volume profile, meaning that we're going to have an impulse move quite soon. So what's going to happen for Bitcoin, and what are the levels to watch for that one in general, but also what should you be watching and expecting from altcoins to be happening from here onwards. Let's get to the charts, but before that, do not forget to subscribe beneath and also like this YouTube update if you enjoy the content, as that will be a blessing for me to grow this channel towards the next step, which is like 200k subscribers. All right, let's get to the chart, in which we can see that we've got the Wyckoff structure here. If you want to see more information about the Wyckoff video, don't forget to check out my YouTube channel, which was posted 2 days ago. But during that update, I've been discussing the levels that I found critical to watch. And now we're zooming in a little bit, in which we can say that the entire region around 33k had to flip in order to reclaim previous support levels, in order to be able to continue the momentum that we had, given that we are making some minimal higher highs and we are making some higher lows, given that this spring with the gigantic volume candle was very obvious. And this had to happen in order to prevent any further downwards momentum, as in, if we would have fallen down even more, we would have dropped towards 24k, and now we would have had a discussion around that area. But given that the price jumped back quite swiftly, we've got higher lows and higher highs. So since then, higher low, sorry, this is the actual spring. And then we concluded that during this run, in which we couldn't even get to 38k yet, 33 was the level that I wanted to see support or hold support in general. We've done that. We've made a nice rally upwards during the weekend. We've concluded that usually price comes down to the CME gap that closed on Friday, which it did. People turned bearish again, and now we're just continuing the grind. So if I erase everything that we see here, what is the level that I want to see break in order to continue the momentum to the upside? Moving averages are looking bright, meaning that they will be coming support quite soon. But this small block that we have here, around 35.5, once again, you can see that we've got this line here. That is the critical level for me on the upside. If that breaks, I'm assuming that we're going to have some new volume candles kicking in, and I would not be surprised if we just break through 38 and get towards the range high resistance, given that the price has been compressing and going sideways in this structure for such a long period of time. So the critical level for me on the upside is 35.6. What is the critical level on the downside for me? That is still 33. As you can see, price has been making higher lows, and to keep that momentum going, you get critical levels that the market has to hold on to in order to sustain the momentum that we have right now. So 33k is the one that you want to look at for critical support. So if you want to take any entry, that is usually why you're looking at. So if 35.5 breaks, I think we are going to get a run towards even 39. And then a retest around this recent high just discussed here. We potentially could even continue running towards the range high, as the really higher time frame critical level is between 40.6 to 42. If that cracks, I think we're going to have a retest around the 50k level, and the momentum starts to kick back into the markets very soon. If we go towards altcoins, we can go towards Ethereum. And Ethereum had some critical levels that we were discussing. But overall, the recent construction of the market reminds me a lot about Ethereum in 2017, in which it also went vertical. And Ethereum also went down a lot during the correction, as it crashed around 70%, after which we just continued grinding and made a sideways period for about 4 to 5 months before the final run happened. Are we getting a super cycle right now? Are we getting a prolonged cycle? Seems quite likely, given the fact that markets mature and therefore you get longer cycles or market cycles in general. But this shows that those corrective moves as we have experienced right now with Ethereum are not unusual. You can see that Ethereum crashed down a lot right now as well, 61%, which is less than in 2017, and now we are back grinding up. And what you also see is that people are looking for shorts around support and looking to get into the markets once again, once we are actually cracking towards the resistance or bouncing back up. So we discussed this yesterday, in which we said that Ethereum had to hold this entire region around 22. As I just discussed, critical levels to hold on to, Ethereum also had one, and now you can actually conclude that the level that I preferably want to see Ethereum holding is this entire region that we have here. As long as that holds around 22, I think we're going to crack further upwards, and I think we're going to get to 3K. But the question is whether that move is going to happen through Bitcoin running to 42K or through strength on Ethereum Bitcoin in a matter of perspectives. So usually what you will see happening is that right now we see Ethereum Bitcoin bouncing back up. However, it's approaching a resistance zone, meaning that the overall massive resistance is found around 0.75, but in between we've got a minimal additional resistance, which is this level around 0.7. The expectations are that if Bitcoin is going to get a very volatile move, usually you will see that altcoins against Bitcoin are dropping down. So I would not be surprised to see Ethereum against Bitcoin drop towards 0.63 when Bitcoin is going to make a very swift move upwards. For instance, if it runs up for 20%, you can still see Ethereum against USDT run up with 10 to 15% too, but that means that the Bitcoin pair drops down a little. However, if Bitcoin is finished that run, what you most likely will see is that altcoins are bouncing back up and are following suit. So the expectations are still that Bitcoin is going to continue crawling upwards or grinding upwards, and altcoins are going to outperform Bitcoin. But you should be reminded that there's always that volatility that might push your assets downwards or upwards given the algorithms or the effects that the correlations have in the market. Because altcoins have been dropping down on the last day that Bitcoin started to crash. So it's not unusual that they'll just be back towards the levels that they were before the actual crash happened, as they were looking astonishing great. If we look at Tomo and we look at the daily structure, the crash was on the 19th. Right now we are up 45% since then. So this was the crash and we're up 45% in the Bitcoin pair. If you're looking for an entry on Tomo, of course this is not the entry point that you're looking at because you want to avoid FOMO. You want to look at a support resistance flip, which is the most obvious entry point that you can get. If you look at the USDT pair, you can see that we're still down a lot on this one. So we can see that since the crash, which was around the 19th, we're actually up a little, but in general, since the overall high, we're still down 41%. So is there many opportunities, or are there many opportunities on the markets? Yes, we've discussed the crucial Bitcoin level that you should be holding. We've discussed Ethereum as a crucial level that you should be holding, that we should be holding. And what are my expectations on the markets in general? I think we've bottomed out. I think we're going to continue moving to the upside. And I think in the coming months, until Bitcoin gets to the all-time high, altcoins are going to outperform Bitcoin heavily. So yes, I still believe in a new alt season, and alt season starts when nobody expects it to happen and nobody is interested. I'll see you again tomorrow. Don't forget to subscribe.